Good evening, Gooners. Happy Friday. It is the match preview. It is a massive, massive game on Sunday. We're going to get into it. Before we do, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Absolutely amazing. Over 1K, nearly 1,100 subscribers. That's absolutely nuts. Nuts. And we're overwhelmed. And we do appreciate it, guys. But yeah, look, get involved in the comments tonight. How are you feeling about Sunday? I think it's fair to say everyone's a little bit nervous. Before we do get into the preview, me and Wayne would like to pay our respects to Alex Manninger, who sadly passed away the car accident. But Wayne, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, I'd like to reiterate that, mate. Rest in peace, Alex Manninger. I mean, I was just
Great
turning
goalkeeper, by
11
the
at
way.
the time, and he came in. We didn't know what to expect when David Seaman was injured in 97, 98. And I think thanks to him, we won the double because he kept us in it. And against West Ham, he come in against Old Trafford when Mark Overmars scored. We can't forget that. So rest in peace. He's obviously condolences to his family, Tone, and
Yeah,
the Arsenal family's lost a Gooner there who've done bits for us. So yeah, rest in peace, Alex.
yeah. What a goalkeeper. His reflexes were unreal. I remember me and you sitting there watching a game.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was against, but the saves he pulled off, me and you were sitting there going, Jesus, David Seaman would be lucky to get back in the sticks
Yeah.
with this guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, sad news. Sad, it's really sad, really sad. But yeah,
Yeah, I think
his
the
family.
Arsenal as well. Before we move on to Count Dooku's comment, the club has put a request in with the FA to wear black bands for Sunday, which I think would be a nice touch.
Yeah,
Another thing I see was they put number 13 and Manninger in the Arsenal shop and the goalkeeper kit. So I think that's a nice touch by the club as well. But yeah.
classy act,
Yeah,
classy
well, I'd like
act.
to just reiterate, rest in peace there, mate. That's
Yeah,
a legend, massive,
sad
massive
news.
game. Seemed like a lovely fella as well, Tone. And yeah, condolences to the family, mate.
Yeah, Count Doku, good evening, sir. Congrats on 1K, Tony Wayne. Yeah, thank you, mate.
Yeah, thank you, matey.
We're thrilled. I can't. We wasn't expecting any. When we hit 300 subscribers, we were over the moon with that. You know, we'd never thought starting this channel up in August that we'd be sitting here now. 7 months later, saying that we've hit 1K subscribers. So, yeah, super proud. But yeah, thank you, mate. But thank you for joining. Most importantly, thank you August for subscribing. And
it's guys like yourself joining and making the channel, and coming in, commenting. We appreciate it, 100%.
Cool. Wayne, how you feeling about Sunday? I'm not gonna lie. I hate the fact that we're doing watch-alongs now. That's how much I'm nervous about it. One of the girls in work, she's an Arsenal supporter, and she literally said to me, "I don't know how you're going to sit there and do a watch along in that game." She went, "I don't even know if I'm going to be able to watch it." So let me know in the comments, guys, how you feeling about Sunday. I'm nervous because our performance during the week. Yes, we got through, right? That just we're in the semi-finals. It could be worse. We could have been knocked out, right? And we didn't. And maybe we put that down to Arteta. Just played it safe, got us through it. But we can't do that on Sunday. We can't do that on Sunday. I think we'll get absolutely smashed if we play like that on Sunday. Wayne, how are you feeling about Sunday? Because you've been quite positive of late.
Listen, yeah, listen, mate. I know. It's just you have to always have a bit of balance in life. But you know what? I'm not as worried. Silly as it may sound, I'm more likely to be worried come like 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I'll think about the game on a Sunday, and it might hit me a bit, mate. But listen, I think we're going into this now, which I think suits us more so as we're going into the underdogs. The underdogs, everyone's talking we're going to get battered if we do this, we're going to do that. And like I say, Tone, you think it. There's been a few gooners as well that are, quite pessimistic. For me, I'm not that way because as poor as we have been, I think that Mikel's got a game plan. And what I'm hoping, and again, that's all you need at this moment in time. All you've got is hope. But I think that going into that Carling Cup or Carabao Cup, sorry guys, playing the way we did, playing the way they did, will mean that there's obviously. I'm hoping that Mikel's kind of learnt the thing, and I think there is a way to play them. It's on their patch. We did it last year. let's not get any silly fouls. I'm not really overly fond with a referee tone. Again, but I think it's Taylor. I think it is, mate. I don't.
I'll have a look.
But referee, you can't let that referee take control of the game. You have to take it yourself. But
yeah.
listen, it's a tough one. Tough one.
I think that's the sort of game where we need a decent ref. I think because what you don't want is a ref getting overwhelmed by the game and then not making a stupid decision, which normally does happen, and unfortunately against us most of the time. And I know that sounds biased, but yeah. Count Dawkins put Sunday's game has me biting my nails, but I still feel stoked and optimistic about our 6-point cushion and easy fixtures after that. Oh, I wouldn't go there, mate. I think that Newcastle and Fulham at home are proper bogey games because both of them, right? And this is why Bournemouth beat us, because they come and played with absolute freedom because their season's pretty much done. They're a bit off the European spots, so it's sort of like that freedom. Fulham, Newcastle, I don't remember who else we've got on our list in there. They're going to come and play with absolute freedom because their season is pretty much there. They're not getting relegated. They're not going to gain European football, and they're the worst times to play these sort of teams because we're going to be under pressure to maintain, whatever happens. Joe, the worst thing about it, Wayne, as well, I need to do a bit of research on this as well. We've got on this weekend's game week. It's game week 33, right? You've got because of the FA Cup fixtures, you got double bankers sitting into one game week, right? Because so that means City on Wednesday will go away to Burnley. So if they beat us, they go away to Burnley, and they've also got their game in hand. So theoretically, I need to check if they play before us in the next batch of fixtures, they could be 3 points clear before we kick the ball.
I think they've only got one game. We've got one game, haven't we? They're only one game that they behind us.
Yeah.
So if we play, what would happen, Tony, is if that was the case, they would be level on points with us.
Right.
But
yeah.
I know. Well, listen, it's not ideal. It obviously goes down. It'll go down to goal difference at this moment in time. But listen, I mean, there's 90 minutes to play on Sunday, mate. And this is where, and I think Clive, he's from the Arsenal Vision podcast, and a few of the regulars and yourself, right? We know we've discussed before. He's been on Sky Sports and he's done it as well. And he's just said, which I agree with him. That's why I'm quoting him, because I agree with it and want to make sure it's not me taking anyone else's views. But he said, if these players can't get up for the position they're in, for playing against Man City, and knowing what they've got to do on Sunday, then he's overestimated the players. Will be the best way to describe what he said, and I have to agree with that, Tone.
Yeah, big words.
Because if he's, as you say, you're looking at this team, you've seen it throughout the season. This is where it comes to. Listen, we've never been in a position like this. We've never been, come April, in a Champions League semi-final and top of the league by 6 points. And it's up to us to take it in our hands to stop City, and do what we've got to do, Tone. If it has to be the dirtiest 0-0 you've ever seen, then so be it. But we have to do what we have to do. My only worry
on that point, mate, just to help track you on that point, do you think he's going to go there and try and play for a draw?
I wouldn't say so much as a draw, Time, but they have to beat us, don't they?
Yeah.
We have to. It's not about playing for a draw, mate. What it's about is not losing. What it's about is, as he will more than likely say, winning your duels. When he loses a duel, he's upset. You know what I mean? He wants his players to be upset as well. So, excuse me, he's not. He shouldn't go there to set up to draw, Tone. He should do. We are a strong, solid team when we have the full players there. I see Ødegaard might be sort of like, I don't know if he'll be on the bench. Saka, we know he said he's not there. We have to go with the strongest possible team that we can, but it's about not losing. It's about being compact. It's about they have to expose themselves if they want to win the game, and that's where we could potentially pick them off in that sense. That's what he's going to be looking at. So you shouldn't go there to say come at us. They will, because City are at home.
They're going to come straight out.
I believe that. I see it. You can ask. Alf. Don't know if he's watching or not. got us in the background. If he isn't, but Alfie and Alfie Mark and that when he was watching the game and they watching the Chelsea City game, and I said if Chelsea had, which of course is not a good indictment on us because our attack is not that great at the moment, but if Chelsea had the ability to, would they attack? They had them about 2 or 3 times on a counter attack. Time they exposed them, and I still believe they'll be exposed no matter if they're home or away. But this is where if they got come at us and they leave pockets, that's where you may have to play a Martinelli. You have to be on transition, a controller Martinelli. Eza picking Martinelli out, he's off. Get behind them, get them on the transition. You could argue there with Yok, but I think in terms of the game state, to start it off, we need to have Havertz up there, in my opinion. He hasn't been great, but we need the ball to stick if it goes up there. We can't play a transitional game all the time, but you need to have a player like a Martinelli, as much as he's not been in great form. But we need that kind of player, I think, on Sunday, because when you want to break out, when you get that opportunity, Tone, there's gaps. There are definitely gaps in this team, in the City team, sorry.
Kandoku's put and Cape Ben White having mini amnesia episodes before their throw-ins.
Yeah.
When they spend 30 seconds looking around, could earn us a draw. I hate it, but it might happen. Oh God.
Yeah. I mean, I'll put.
We're getting trolled already.
He's back.
Night of Universe. Welcome to the channel. Manchester City 3, Arsenal 1. You deserve 0 trophies with that ugly and boring Harrow ball. Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Well, I mean, we, as I say, Tone, we live rent free in a lot of fans' head because, let's say, we're back obviously because that's all they can talk about. But listen, Mourinho won with Harambal. We've had this discussion. He done it years ago. No one said a word then. So because it's Arsenal, they lump in. But yeah, thanks for joining the channel, mate. We do appreciate you coming in and trolling.
Please hit the like button, mate. It helps us out a lot.
If you don't like it anymore, just hit the like button on the way out. Cheers.
Look, on the press conference, I was looking through some of the notes. He's put how Madueke he is after coming off on Wednesday. He's put, well, we have another training session tomorrow. He didn't look that bad after the game, and he was quite positive. He's a player who pushes through pain, so I'm hopeful that he can be available. But we have to wait and see if he's able to train tomorrow. So I suppose we have to wait and see on that one.
Well, I mean, spoiler alert, as I say, I have put him out because by the sounds of it, it could be him. I mean, listen, it's a tough ask for a Dowman. I mean, you could do 2 things, Tone.
Big game in it to fry him in, though.
If Madueke's not fit, I would resist it. But if you haven't got Madueke, you obviously haven't got Saka. Then I'd say put like a Martinelli on right. I know it's not fantastic, but put Martinelli on the right.
No, on the left. Mate, I wouldn't be against that because it can work. It can work. Kandoku. One case of squabbers comes with a few trolls. This smells like success for the Gooner Booth. I think so, mate. Thank you. Yeah. No, look, troll you want, guys.
Listen, mate, we've had it before. Yeah, listen, we get it. They come in, they jump on, they do it, count. But
look, it's football. Everyone's going to have their own opinion. It's banter. We can take it, right? Just bring it.
The thing is, we started this channel with the knowledge that we will get banter, we will get that kind of stuff. You got to take the hits when you're putting yourself out on a channel like this. But yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Well, if we lose on Sunday, I will be hiding under a rock for a couple of days.
We will disappear. The Gooner Booth might disappear for a couple of weeks. All right.
So yeah, on feed through some of the stuff on this because good team news here. On if there's a problem on the right hand side, if Saka is also out, Arteta's response to that was, "We'll have a solution. So whatever happens, we are so used to this season, unfortunately for various reasons. So what happens? So whatever happens, we'll have the right solution there." He talk some shit, doesn't he? Sometimes Arteta. I don't know what he means by that. That's basically him saying. But then that's a bit. It's a bit of both, really. That's a shitty question to ask him, right? But it's also, well, what else is he going to say? He's got to find a solution. He's got no choice. He's not going to play 10 men, is he? Because he ain't got a right-sided midfielder. Honestly,
listen. I mean, if it comes to it, Tone, just stick Benny White there.
Well, yeah.
Don't give him no defensive duties. Just have Mascara at right back, Benny White right wing. Go with it, Ben. Yeah, but listen, that won't happen.
Trossard on the left, Martinelli on the right isn't a bad shot. If he is out,
if Madueke can't,
get your wish, mate. But Eza on the left, Mane on the right, and then put Havertz through the middle, or
Mm.
or even go. I know Arteta won't do this, but I think it will shock the life out of Guardiola if he played 4-4-2, had two strikers, right, for that counter attack.
Mm.
Right? Could you imagine having Jock and Havertz just waiting on the edge of that box, right? Or Havertz just dropping in deep to get the ball, right? And
So
then we're in
that's the part. I
transition.
mean, we had it against Bournemouth though. That's my worry, Tony, and it didn't
Yeah.
work. I mean, it can in a sense, but I think it's one or the other. I mean, it happened at the Carabao, didn't it? He played both, and what it is with Havertz is what I wanted. Listen, it can also depend as well because we've done that before. The Arsenal yesteryear had Fabregas and Gilberto or Fabregas Vieira sometimes as well. And Fabregas was the ball was going through him. It progressed the pass. You had like a Lundberg at the time, or you had a Alex Leb, you had a Pires, you had a Reyes on the left, you had Bergkamp Henry, or you had Van Persie. You know, we had Canu for a bit, but what I'm saying, what I'm trying to get at is it can work, but Havertz it is primarily that Havertz can only play as say like a support striker. He's been poor the last kind of link ups with Gyökeres. It started quite well. The last two occasions, Bournemouth, and then obviously we had it in the Carabao Cup. We lose that play, especially if you haven't got a Subamendi getting on the ball. So I think that's why
Mm.
you obviously have your early guards and whatever, because Havertz is not going to do that. You know, because he's quite proven he's not that kind of player. My thought process for, which I've said as well, was that I wanted Havertz to be that support striker to a Gyökeres, so he does all that stuff, but he's not doing enough in that position, you know,
Yeah.
to warrant it. I think the only way you can shock him, Bones, in a sense, is that if you do if you play Havertz, say for argument's sake, don't take Havertz off. You put Gyökeres on. You shift Eza to the left, and you see if that might work. Late in the game, tired legs, they've not broke through, and in the moment you do, you've got Yock up there who'll be fresh, you know, running at them. So there's options. Look, it'd be interesting, Tone. It'd be interesting. I've wanted it to work because I think that you can have that, and I think and what Count Dooku is going to say is what my thought process has also been recently as well. So we'll get that comment up, Tone, because I don't want to step all over it.
Yeah, Kandoki's put wish Mourinho was here to play as a striker again. I really wouldn't mind that. Well, he gives you another
Um,
option, doesn't he?
I think what it is interpreting that role is how Moreno, and I think as well he done it with Eza behind him, and that's when we beat Spurs 4-1 at the Emirates. Eza played behind Moreno. Moreno interprets that role well because listen, he was given an assignment when he back end of last year. We have no strikers. I'm picking you. Can you do a job for us? He had to, Tone. You know, and it is a shame because I think he offers that different thing we've missing. We've all said he's not fantastic as a deeper line midfielder, but box crashing, hitting that support striker role seems to suit him more. But you know, I think that's one that we've missed, mate. Having a Moreno in and around the team, and yeah, I would have said that he would have played Moreno um,
Yeah.
tomorrow, Sunday. Sorry, guys. You know, but it is what it is. So he's got to make it work. But that two striker system, I think, will be tough because I think he figured it out, Guardiola, that we weren't getting the out balls out. You know, Kepa couldn't do it anyway. I think you just need that someone to pick the ball up. And this is why an Erdegaard in this match would have been vitally important on a Moreno because they would have dropped into the link to play. While Havertz has not been doing that time, not since he's been back. And as I say, he's not that kind of player really. He's not even winning his duels or his headers or his flick-ons because he could be a great support actor with Gyökeres if he was to do that. But he's not doing it at the moment. So I would say it's more to save at the end of the game. You know,
Yeah,
see
the
how they
worst
do
thing
it.
about
So
it is the City players are hitting loads of form. That Kozanov, is that his name? The centre back they've got.
yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah.
he's come into a bit of form as well. He's got
Kusanov.
pace, he's got power. Um, when he first went into them, he was struggling, wasn't he? He couldn't put a pass together. It's like we
Yeah.
just want. It's hard because our players are out of form, their players are in form. That's why I think everyone's got not got a lot of confidence for this game.
No, you listen. I know you're not gonna be sort of like magically. I mean, listen, I'm not. I'm not that positive a guy anyway. I can always have my moments, but I think this is where we want to be, and this is where we need to be as a football club. This league was never going to be a league where we'd walk it. Man City were poor and we were poor last year. Liverpool had a lovely little stroll to the title. This year's a Man City team, sorry, regardless of what's happening in the background, is a manager who I think is more than likely going in the summer. However you dress it up, the rumours are that he's going regardless of 115 charges or not. So he wants to go out with a bang, So he's chasing us down, trying to check, and this is where you have to stand up. And this is where the apprentice should become the master in terms of Mikel. Stand up, because it's someone said it was what was it? Can't remember what they said. But what I'll say is it's just to, I think it was one of our guys on here, but this is a sliding doors moment, Tone. It's a path. You got a pathway. Sorry, it was someone on Twitter, Tone. I do apologise, guys, but this is a sliding doors moment where you either you win that game, you go onto the path where we need to be. We heading towards getting that title that we've won for like 22 years, or you go the other way, you lose, and that's where you don't want to think about that. You don't want to. I don't want to. You're more. Arteta should be questioned if that happens and no trophies are there. Come the summer, I'm like, well, I'm in a different end of the spectrum. Which, I get that point of view, and that with this channel, it's always about personal opinions, but this is, for me, that sliding doors moment, Tone. You have to take it. If it's a draw, it doesn't mean the title's ours. It doesn't mean the title's City's. No, what that means is we haven't allowed them back in to close that gap down. If they were to win their game in hand, we would be 3 points. So that, for me, is vitally important, first and foremost, to not lose. And go from anywhere else. But I think we can get them. I do think we can get them. It's just where our attack at the moment has been quite blunt. Something's got to change, Tone. And I'm a bystander. Excuse me, sorry. You can be a fan on a channel doing what we do and go, oh, this should happen, that should happen. But at this moment in time, I don't know what can fix it. But the man who pays the big bucks, the man who's got us here, is a man who's got to look to figure out that thing, Tone, and that's on Mikel, isn't it, really? So I have hope, Tone, is all I'm going to say. I can't give anyone else any more.
I think you're probably one of few Arsenal supporters that have got hope for this game. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It's and I want to try and find
believe,
hope.
Tone. You've got to believe.
Yeah,
what else have you got? You get yourself this far, Tone. You've got to believe.
With this club, I think everyone's sort of protecting themselves by going, look, I'm not sure we're going to get much out of this game. So if anything does go wrong, there's not going to be there's going to be a meltdown anyway if we lose this game. But I think with me, it's more like I'm expecting us to struggle. But I do think that the fact that the pressure's on City for this game, as much as it's on us, will hopefully work in our favour. But the only thing I will say is City have been here before. They've been here before, many a season. They know how to deal with it, and that is what I'm struggling to deal with, Wayne, because they know how to deal with these situations. They know how to. We've been here before, where we had to go to the Etihad and was in the title race, and Kevin De Bruyne, I know they don't play from no more. Literally within the space of 10 minutes, 1-0, and then we literally fall apart in that game, and they were comfortably beating us. Was it 3-1 in the end or something?
I think that's 4-1. I know the game.
I don't want to sit here on a watch on, Wayne, where we're like, come on. I want to see a bit of fight. I want us to. Firstly, that Cherky needs to get the first tackle where someone just smashes into him, lets him know that you ain't taking the piss out of us today. That's what I want from our players. That's what I want. If we end up losing, right, but we're losing, we've lost because City have been absolutely unplayable. You sometimes have to go, do you know what? We're still in the title race. It's mathematically still there. We've just got to keep going, right? But nothing's to say that City are going to go and beat Burnley away, or they're going to go and beat Crystal Palace. Just like there's nothing to say that we're going to go and beat Fulham and away to Crystal Palace. So that's the last game of the season. That's not easy. Newcastle at home. That is not easy. So it's going to be a hard watch. But the one thing that I will say to myself is, if whatever happens, we've still got to keep fighting. Even if we go down fighting Sunday, I'll be happy. Not happy with the fact that we've lost, but you know what I mean. When I'll go, Joe, what, we've actually shown some fight. They've just been better on the day, and that's what I want us to go there and beat. If we're challenging for the title, that you got to go and win these games. If we go and win this game, then I think our season gets motivated. There's still loads to do afterwards, by the way, but we can't go there and just. I feel like I think everyone's got PTSD because of the League Cup. The League Cup final, we thought. Well, I said it with chest. I think we're going to go and beat City. I think we've got momentum. We're going to go and beat City, and City turned up like it was nothing. You had Turkey doing kick-ups. So I think we need to turn up. We need to turn up. If we don't turn up, then we are going to get smashed.
I think it was obviously
one sec. Yeah. Thank you, Charles. Good evening, mate. Yeah. Thank you for
matey.
1K. Yeah. Well, I won't take credit for that. It's me and Wayne's channel, but thank you, mate.
Yeah, listen, I mean,
Gooner Booth.
It's the thing is with it, Tone, is with that. This is why we've obviously sat there and said, you know, that we've said Kepa was a mistake in the Carabao Cup. The Carabao Cup opens up when he makes that mistake, and then you're at panic stations. Then I think obviously having Ray at the back. You know?
I know you're saying he's made that mistake, and it was a big part in the game. But the way we were playing, Wayne, do you not think that City would have scored eventually?
Listen, I mean, if you had, as I said,
it's all hindsight, right?
But it's hindsight. I mean, I think the player that you have to look at who loves playing against City and set us up to get us back in the game was Eza. You know, and for me personally, Tone, I would have Eza on the left. If Odegaard is anywhere near playing, I'd have him in the 10 behind Havertz with, say, Madueke, the strongest you could do, because you haven't got Saka there. If you had Timber and Calafiori, they've got to come in at fullback for me. You know, the middle four would pick itself because you've got no other option. But
so on them three players, Wayne.
Sorry, mate,
on them three players. Let me read this out, and I'll let you continue. On the availability of Odegaard, Timber, and Calafiori, Arteta's put, we will try again. Some players are quite close, but the turnaround is short. So we will try tomorrow to push everybody, and if they are in good condition, they'll be part of us. And if not, they won't. They haven't been in the last few weeks, unfortunately. Yeah. So I don't know what to read by that. I don't know if he's playing mind games where he's sort of saying they might be fit, they are fit, or they are fit in the background, and they're going to be in the squad. We need a boost, right? And I think if we sign on at 4 o'clock or whatever time we do the watch along, and I see the starting 11 before that, because I will see it before that we go on air. If I see Timber at right back, that's going to give me a massive boost, right?
Just Timber and Calafiori for me, mate. I think that's
because attacking wise as well, Calafiori is brilliant going forward, right? Him and Martinelli and even Trossard, he gives us something a bit extra. With Timber, he gives us something as well at the back, and he gives us that stability at the back, right? And I must admit, right, and I'm going to praise Mosquera, because when he come in on Tuesday, right, or Wednesday, sorry, we looked 10 times better at the back. Defensively, we looked a lot stronger. Look, no disrespect to Ben White. Ben White's been a good servant for Arsenal, but I do think his time is coming to an end. I just think he looked. If you look at the goals, look at Southampton, look at Bournemouth. Unfortunately, he was out of position for both the goals, which cost us dearly. So I think Timber is the better right back by a mile. But I also think
why do you think as well? He's sorry to cut in, but why do you think Timber's played near Niall and Ben White on the bench? Because Timber he's Mosquera is the closest you're going to get in terms of a one-on-one defender. I mean, obviously there's certain weaknesses in his game you can see, but I think he's raw with the ability. He's still got a good high ceiling, in my opinion. And if you haven't got a Timber, I think you've got to get Mosquera in there to deal with Cherky, you know. And this is why I think
Mosquera's quick, he's strong. I don't think Cherky will have his own way there. But then what City have been doing with Cherky, which is actually quite clever, they've missed that Kevin De Bruyne type player, right?
Mm.
And Cherky's that playmaker that will sit in number 10, but he won't
Yeah.
stay there. He'll
Yeah.
move from
So he
right
is
to
number
left.
10. Yeah.
And he's an
Yeah, he
absolute.
does.
He's a good player. He's a cocky fucker, right? But he's a good player. But
Yeah.
he's a nightmare at the moment because he don't stay
Yeah.
still, and that's my worry. I don't know whether Arteta should be smart and go right. I want someone to stay on him, whether that be maybe Mascara can follow him around the pitch, or do you know what I mean? But then that's where O'Reilly gets the space because Turkey will move players around, and O'Reilly will get a look at the
Yeah.
goal that scored against us. That was Turkey moving players around. Ben White got sucked in, and
Yeah.
O'Reilly's got a free header at the back post. 2-0, game over.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
look, it's hard. If I literally don't want to be in Arteta's shoes right now because I literally, even the coaching staff, you're sitting there, you're probably analysing everything that you're doing. But Guardiola isn't predictable. That's the difference between him and Arteta. Guardiola will probably look at it and go, we had 4 go around the box in the final. What else are we going to do? And he'll probably deploy something completely different that's going to throw Arteta off. Because Arteta probably is, for some reason, Arteta always seems 2 steps behind him.
Mm.
Let me read these comments out. For Arsenal fans doubting that we will win the league, watch the movie Fever Pitch. It will give you the necessary hopium to the rest of the season. Fever Pitch, is that a dance film? Is that a dance film?
No, dude.
No, what am I thinking of?
No. Listen,
What's Fever Pitch? Do you know? Have you seen it?
Fever Pitch.
You're
No, yeah.
a
What it
film
is,
buff.
it's based on a Nick Hornby was a big gooner. And what it was is the film, which I've not seen, by the way, guys, because I'm getting hold of it. It's on my list as what it is. He's an Arsenal fan, and it's basically a film that's mixed with a bit of. It's not so I won't say it's a romantic comedy, but it's based around Arsenal in the 88-89 season tone. And his missus wants a commitment from him. He's totally involved in the Arsenal. And obviously, as you would be, and it's based around the 89, the Mickey Thomas last minute goal with Liverpool, obviously, when we won the
Oh, I've watched.
championship.
I was thinking something completely different. I
Which
think it's
is
called
it's been on my list for quite a while, Count Dooku. But yeah, it's basically telling him it's about a gooner. He's got a woman on the side he's trying to keep happy, but the Arsenal are winning the title. It's been 18 years, so it's been 22 years for us. So it's like that basically.
I'll have to give that a watch.
He's got a missus who's not quite happy that he's focused on the Arsenal, and he's trying to balance his personal life with watching Arsenal and going to see the Arsenal and stuff. And it was basically all his trials and tribulations during that season and how close it was. We have a watch at some of that because some of the games we had, and I was talking to a guy at work as well. Some of the games we lost or drew, we drew it at home, like we lost or drew at home, and it let Liverpool back in. So by the last game of the season, that's why we had to win by 2 clear goals.
Because of the goal
So and
difference.
then that was it, and we got it, and then obviously you got a last minute, and for Arsenal fans, that's one of the best finishes. For Man City fans, it was the Aguero. But I'm sorry, Mickey Thomas, you had to win. We had to win by 2 clear goals at Anfield. Nothing can top that. You can't. You don't go to Anfield and win 2-0 on a title decider. It doesn't happen.
Well, let's hope that we can do a job on Sunday.
Let's hope so.
I want a Will Todd moment. That's what I want.
Yep. Exactly.
Count Docker's put Timber doesn't watch long crosses go over his head like Penn White. Yeah, he will be a huge boost for us. He definitely will.
Yeah. If I tell you what, I would love it if he's in there.
Beating a Liverpool team in the Anfield 80s was impossible, especially with the hooligans back then. We did it 1989. We can do it now. Yeah, look, I like the enthusiasm.
We can go. Yeah, I mean, we haven't won at the Etihad. God knows. I think the last time we won was, if I'm not mistaken, the Santi Cazorla Giroud penalty of 2015.
Where
so
we
that's gone on almost. That's 11 years.
That was an Abu Dhabi had an absolute blinding game as well. Him and Cazorla in that midfield were unplayable that day.
Yeah,
and Wenger set us up tactically really well. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, listen, Arteta will coach these guys to the inch of their lives in terms of dealing with City. And this is the thing you have to look at, that we're not. What he had was, obviously, what the last time we went there, having Rob Holding it, and the Saliba injury disrupted that back line. But he's got a blueprint. It's all that lets him down, is the attack.
Yeah,
So it's how they turn up. You get a moment, ball in the back of the net. And like someone said, right, but this is my argument, yeah, and I will get that. I will sit here and say that. Well, you know my fault. I like Gyökeres. Right? I've still got plenty of time for him. He's not the great aesthetic. He's not a great footballer, right? We don't want a great footballer. What he is a great goal scorer. Yeah. So if a moment comes in, right, and it falls in the box to Gyökeres, do to a Havertz or something, am I going to say Havertz will put it in, or am I going to say Gyökeres will put that in? You know, and my talk, the thing that tells it is that people are saying, and quite a few people online, and this is why I have to agree, is we need that ball to stick up top. But Havertz hasn't been doing that when he's been playing the support striker, dropping back in the number 10 role tone. You know, but Gyökeres, it doesn't stick with Gyökeres. But that's not his game. That's never going to be his game.
No.
He's piss poor. He's piss poor at winning headers. You know, it won't stick to him. But he is your guy when he's running on the shoulder into the box, having a crack, bang. He's got a powerful shot, rarely misses penalties. He's a finisher, Tone. Yeah? And it's how Mikel can incorporate that. Because if it gets to the 85th minute, it's 0-0. You know, if he's on that pitch, ball falls to him in the box, falls him anywhere, I'm trusting Gyökeres over Havertz. We've been there as much as I've had my thing with Havertz. I mean, I do like him, but I think the injury is kind of, you know, it's took a toll on him,
Not the
Tone.
same. Yeah.
If you look back, there's moments where Havertz has missed sitters and whatever. I can't compromise. You can compromise certain aspects, but Gyökeres can put the ball in the back of the net better than any player on this pitch. The problem we have with a Gyökeres is it won't stick up top and it won't. And as I said to you, the football, he's not going to give you that kind of thing, which it could be a bad thing in a sense, but we don't play to Gyökeres' style. So it's not always going to suit because the centre forward has got to, like a Moreno and like a Havertz, the ball's got to stick with them, Tone. Yeah, it doesn't stick with Yock. He'll lose a header or it'll bounce off of him. He won't quite, you know. That's always never his game. It's he'll play a 1-2 and run. He can run in behind the defender and whatever, but it's not doesn't stick with him. So that's the one thing I would say is my only worry would be that you have that it's got to stick up top, yes, but when it comes to crunch, I want Gyökeres in that box to put the ball in the back of the net, take the 1-0 away from the Etihad, and shut everybody up.
That'd be great. Good little segue.
Let's hope go for it, son. But let's hope he incorporates it. That's if he can find a way, Tone. It's what we need, mate.
Cool. Let's go in and start 11, mate.
Let's do it, matey.
Cool. So look, I'll just as you were saying, you've gone with Havertz up front over Yock. Yeah, it's hard really because I mean, if Calafiori comes in, that's
I think he said Calafiori's fine. Calafiori's fine. I mean, listen,
I think Timber's the big one. I think Timber's. I know
but Timber for me, Tone. I think Mascara can do it, but Timber, if you had, I mean, having Timber and Calafiori, I mean, you've got your back seven, including the keeper, that has got us where we needed to be. To start the season, they were impenetrable. You know, they're a phenomenal unit. It's vitally important. Maybe listen, there's certain things he's saying. Look, I can. Maybe he's trying to push it. Let's not risk Calafiori. Let's not risk it. Getting ready for this. If there's some surprises, I'm sure ourselves, many a Gooner out there will be sort of happy with that. The only surprise is obviously Saka, potentially Erdegaard. Good news, whether it was him training or not. And I'm not saying I don't think he'll be anywhere near. But Moreno was at the training ground today.
Who?
Moreno.
Okay, yeah, he might make an appearance before the season's up. Maybe
he makes a couple of things. You know, he pops up against an Atletico Madrid in the second leg, and a ball goes in off his shin, and we go through to the final. I mean, let's have it. But listen, I've done it because a lot of people have said it on Twitter, and it's not me nicking their idea. All it is for me is I think I have to agree with the notion of that ball, as I've just said, to bore you with a monologue of that ball sticking up there. I wouldn't be adverse, Tone, to having Ezra on the left to try and see if you've got a what's the name? If you've got sort of like if Havertz can, but again, he's got to stick. He's not making it stick. He's not winning. If we're going to give me a Havertz who's going to win the ball from that position, yeah, I think that what you got if you're playing in with someone like an Ezra at the 10 will mean then if you've got Ezra on the ball, that the ball he can control it. While with Gyökeres, the ball always goes loose. He's not as technically sound as a Havertz, but Havertz has to be on it for him to play. You know what I mean? And that's why I think as well, Mikel's been playing Gyökeres because Havertz hasn't been technically as sound as he's been in the past time. You know, so it'll all go out the window. But what it is you need that ball. It's the attack is where what needs to function. I'm not worried about that bottom 7. I'm worried about the top 4 in that picture.
Yeah, Retro's good evening, mate. How are you, mate?
Good evening. Thanks for joining, Retro.
Very good point here. Playing Capia and Callaway as left winger. Think of that.
I'd switch it around. I'd put in Capia as a left winger, but yeah, I can see it. You can either have either or, but yeah, could never know, mate.
Count Dockers put we didn't have Spring Eze for the final. Having him this time is a huge boo. Yeah.
You know what? You can if it is swapped. I'm going to go out on a limb and say to you that if we had Timber fit, who would have started the final, Eze fit, who would have started the final, and he'd chosen Raya, then I think we could have. I think it could have been better for us. I think the fact that I've had a feeling when Eze and Timber weren't making that final that we were going to struggle. You know, and lo and behold, we did because. It's just the confidence that Timber gives. Calafiori played. I think Calafiori. It was Hincapié played left back, didn't he? And he got the nod ahead of the final. I think that if there's any way you got Calafiori fit, Tone, he's got to start in any way, even if it's a 70% capacity. I think he's got to start. But I say Timber as well. If Timber's at 70%, in all due respect, 70% Timber, I'd still play against Benny White because. He's not been in great form at all, mate. So
I think they'd be nervous if we see Ben White start in that 11 on Sunday.
Without that, I think without a doubt, Mikel, sorry about that, technical difficulty. If Mikel sort of, if he wants to, he can be what pragmatic. He can be, you know, with Benny White. But. If a player's not playing quite well, Tone, you can't live off of that. And that's the thing with Mikel. He's got to be ruthless, you know. Should have been ruthless in the final, but he chose not to be. Got to be ruthless now, mate.
Yeah, Retro's got a good comment in there. I'll just shit house the match and play Havertz and Gyökeres strikers and play Ben White and Nkapé out wide and get an old-fashioned 4-4-2 on the go. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier in the stream that, mate, I think Arteta would. I don't see him doing it. He needs to do something that's going to shock Guardiola because Guardiola would be going, right, he's going to be doing 4-2-3-1. They're going to play out from the back. They're going to do this, they're going to do that. Let's make him go long. And it goes back to your point, Wayne, where you're like, York or Havertz aren't making the ball stick. And Guardiola knows that. He knows that if we pump it long, City are going to...
It's not going to stick.
What do we do? I think we need to change formation for this game. I don't know what I think 4-4-2 is a good shout because it's a good system. 2 banks of 4 in City got the ball. You can have either Havertz dropping into that midfield, into that number 10 position when we haven't got the ball. But when we have got the ball, there's 2 strikers and you got a bank of 4. That will give the license for Zubi and Weiss.
Yeah, you know what I'd also argue with that. I mean, I know it wasn't sort of like fantastic, but I'd also argue for a 4-3-3. You know,
but if the objective is to shock Guardiola, let's play 3-6-1 like we did with Mansfield.
Yeah, no, I know exactly, mate. Jesus Christ, I mean that was crazy. Yeah,
bloody hell, could you imagine that? Charles put Wayne Tone. Nothing Arteta will do will shock Guardiola. Only what the players do on the pitch will shock Guardiola. What do you think will happen?
Yeah, no, exactly, Charles.
Good point. No, very good point. And I do.
I'll be back, Tone, and I'll let you answer that instead of me taking over. You answer Charles' questions. I'll be back very shortly, guys. But Tony, it's your turn to take over.
You're getting old, mate. You got bladder problems. You have.
You know that, mate. You know that. See you in a sec, buddy.
The beer, mate. Anyway, yeah, Charles, good point there, buddy. Yeah, look, I think that you're right. You're right. The players have to go and do it. What I'm getting at is, I think he needs to tweak it slightly. I think that Guardiola knows that Raya's going to have the ball. Raya's going to will try and draw the City players in. They're not going to fall for it, right? Because Bournemouth had the same blueprint. They didn't fall for it. We then couldn't play out from the back. What do? We went long. We ain't got the players to take the ball down from the air, right? And we didn't win one duel against Bournemouth. And I think, yeah, look, Havertz will win a header. Ezra's not going to win a header, right? Madwakey was challenging and won't win. Martinelli definitely won't win a header, right? You're relying on players that that's not their game. So we've got to try and play through the midfield. This is where the tweak that I would make, if I'm being completely honest, I know Zubimendi had a fairly decent game in the week. I would play Rice in the 6 and drop Ezra in the 8. So we've got a ball player midfield section, but Rice will then clean up. Because he'll put a tackle and he'll get around the pitch and he'll drive us forward. And I would then play Havertz in the 10, Yok up front. Although Havertz hasn't played well in the 10, I would switch that when we've got the ball that Havertz then goes and joins Yok up front of 2 strikers. Then Eze will go forward with Rice. Or the Rice can sit in front of that back 4 and let Eze just float around. If you ever got an Odegaard to come on. That's what
another thing as well, Tone. Another thing as well, stick whoever you've got, if Madueke's fit, but stick Norgard in the 6. Stick Zubimendi and Rice as your second midfielders, like play a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't, you don't have to force a 10 into this squad, and especially if you're away from home, pack the midfield out, stick an Eze on the left, stick a Madueke or a flying winger on the right. I mean, even that way.
Norgard, Wade. If you're going to play Norgard, I'd get him to stick with Shirky. I go follow that fucker everywhere around the pitch. Where he goes, you go.
He used to do it to us. He used to frustrate the life out of us when we went to Brentford or when he come to the Emirates. And there's people saying like, why Arteta using this guy as that kind of player? He will not. If you set him onto a player, he will do that. Get him on Cherky. Yeah. Obviously get a Subi and Rice in the middle to kind of assist, but it will allow a little freedom because Rice doesn't feel he's got the freedom to do it like he did with Partey. Because then every now and then you have that Subi Rice. It's not always working the way it should. Let the shackles off of them two, and you never know.
I don't think having 2 DMs is helping us now with the pivot where Rice will drive forward. I think that we're getting boxed in by teams now. I think we need an outlet where you have one sitting in front of the back 4, one pass goes forward, then we're on the attack. We play through the lines. We're not allowed. They're not allowing us to do that. Charles, a very good point here. No matter what, we have to be mindful. Bernardo Silva, the 2-foot dynamite, has left our midfield looking poor. I feel a strict double pivot with Zubi and Rice, with Rice only allowed to bomb past post 70. I would. So you'd sit there, okay?
Yeah, because what you're saying, but this also as well, Charles.
It's really interesting to hear people's opinions, Wayne, because it is an actual, excuse my French, it's actually a mind fuck, this game, tactically. Because no matter what you do, he's right. Bernardo Silva is one you have to watch. Even Rodri is one that will dictate play. And we've got to try and work out a way to get the ball. We cannot play lumping it forward. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Unless you're gonna get your wingers going and getting chalk in their boots. So when we got the ball, Rice has got a crossfield pass to here, which we're not doing, by the way. Madwake might have to get on their toes and go long. If we are going to go long, do it properly. We can't against Bournemouth. We was just literally going long, and it was coming straight back at us. He's got to have a better game plan. He's got to have a plan B. If he can't play out from the back, then he's got to have, I don't know, maybe push Mosquera up a bit more. Rather than try and go and short, got Saliba and Gabs there for the short pass, which he normally does, but push your fullback right on so that Raya's got somewhere to hit. That wasn't happening in the final, and they knew what we was doing.
No, I mean, this is it. I mean, with Bernard, that's what I was trying to say. Like, with Odegaard, Tone, because Bernardo Silva is, I mean, he's a little fucker anyway, but he is the kind of player, the midfielder. I think that the only way Odegaard will survive in the system now is if he drops himself back into that role. Don't forget Bernardo Silva was playing from the right or playing up in the number 10. He's now dropped deep. And that's where I think that's the only way that Odegaard can drop deep, play his game. Sorry, and I even think as well that if there's any way you could do it, is that he shouldn't be necessarily playing him as a 10, but he should play him as a left 8, play Rice in the middle, Zubi to the right of Rice against them tomorrow if that option was available, as opposed to putting him on the right hand side drifting in. Because if you haven't got a Saka, he hasn't got that link up. So put him on there and see what he can do from that angle. You know, I've said it. You'll vouch for me, Tone. I've said it when we started this channel, and I've been saying it before. That I think if you can fit him in, if you want Erdegaard to play, you've got to fit him in a midfield. It could be a 3-man
I,
midfield or
I
in
think
deeper.
Odegaard could be your Cazorla type player that will sit next to the midfielder and get the ball to feet. He's not really that number 10 player that we need right now, purely because of the way
He's
teams
not there
play
anymore.
against
I
us.
mean, Tone, you wouldn't risk it, I suppose, against City, but this is where I say where you could have Erdegaard sitting deep with Rice and have Eze as a further forward 10, because that's what I think he can be. I mean, listen, I don't want Erdegaard to go, and but I just think that's my opinion. I just see him in there, and I've seen him prior to injury, prior to whatever, and I just think to myself that this guy is a number 8 playing as a number 10. And we tried it with Fabregas, and it didn't suit Fabregas's game. I know Wenger tried it a few times. He's just so much better when he's deeper, picking that ball up, And I think that's where he can reimagine himself. And if Mikel doesn't think he's strong enough to play in that role, Bones, then obviously that's where we'll have to try and do it in Spain
That's why
somewhere.
you'd have to play Rice in the 6 to do that, because Rice would then cover that ground. Because what Odegaard lacks in strength and defensive duties, I think Rice is worth 2 players in the 6. That's how good he is. He's probably, I'd say, he's one of the best 6s in the world, in world football.
He is, mate. He is. Best one in the world, yeah.
Charles has put noise, mate. Get you on out of the
way. Sorry, guys. It's bedtime for me.
I'm boring you. I'm boring you.
No, long day, matey. Long day.
We have made we have to make noise with Bernardo tactical fouls as well. We cannot let him get away with it as often as he does. Joe, what? The ref shit tomorrow. We've got Taylor. I think Wayne said at the beginning. He will let him get away with it. He's all right. I hate Joe. What? Bernardo Silva is an absolute little shit. And they will get away with it.
They've got a couple of fuckers in Cherky and Bernardo Silva, mate. That's little nasty little fuckers that should. That you can't physically do it, but you want to leave one on them. But unfortunately, in this day and age, Tony, you leave one on them, it's a yellow card or VAR or rule it into a red. But
they'll be
they need something. They need something. I'm not saying you should injure them, Tone. Please don't. No, I'm missing.
Oh no, fuck it, Cherky, mate.
Leave one on them. Cherky deserves
Cherky
it.
to have a nice little cut on his leg at the end of that game on Sunday, little dickhead. But look, they're going to know as well that what Cherky did in the final. The refs aren't stupid; they see stuff. They're going to be looking for us tackling him, and he's going to get away with murder. You watch. It's going to. Charles has put we have to pack out the midfield and trust our defense to tackle any crosses from Doku and company for Haaland. That should be bread and butter. Yeah, the basics got to be done first, man. I completely agree there. The worst thing about it is he's got the perfect system because he's got Doku on each, and he's got Semenyo on the other wing, and then you've got O'Reilly overlapping Semenyo down that side, and because everyone's worried about Semenyo and Doku, he's got tons of space to run into. Yeah. And what that also does, that leaves Cherky just to go and do his thing.
Yeah.
So, again, it's I'd hate to be in Arteta's shoes right now because I'm looking at this now and I'm getting a headache of how I would.
It's a tactical battle. It's a tactical battle, Tone, and I think that's ill.
I would.
We've got the players, and for me, my opinion is if we've got a full our 11, our full strength 11.
Outside of full. Sorry, mate. Joe, I'll do. Looking at your lineup, if it is the lineup, right? Let's just say this is the lineup. Joe, what I would do when we're defending, I would bring Havertz back. Right?
No, that's what the talk back. Is. He'd drop him into the midfield.
I'd bring him back, right? And I'd push Martinelli up front.
Joe,
what? Because what I would in transition, if we hit the ball long, then they're not catching Martinelli. If the ball's good enough, Gay is a good defender, but Martinelli is super quick.
Martinelli's one of the fastest players in the squad, and you have to use that. Any outball, any chance you get, Tone. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing he's very good at, Wayne, is his movement as well. Yeah. On that last defender, he's rarely offside. So in that game, I would deploy Havertz back. I'll go get back in line and have the two banks of four when they've got the ball. But when they're attacking us, just keep Martinelli up there. Keep him up there because he'll get a ball and hold it up. He won't hold it up in the air, but if you plan a ball over the top for him to run onto, it's a different story. Different story. Our friends join us. Just Pende, good evening, mate. Good evening. How's the weather over there? Nice and sunny. Where is Kepa? Why isn't he starting?
He's a dodgy Kepa, Jasper. All right, I can't have a dodgy Kepa playing on Sunday. All right.
He's injured, isn't he?
I want a decent Kepa.
He's he run out of glue to put in his gloves.
Yeah,
that's why he's not starting.
Not a bit of sticky orange or a bit of sticky lemon. It can make it stick.
Putting butter in his gloves.
That's something, mate. It's like watching Fabianski play with us again.
Oh, bloody hell. Amunia. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Ospina. Ospina's not starting either. Yeah, everything is good. The only stress, even while working as a nurse, is Arsenal. Jesus.
Exactly.
I don't blame you, mate. Yeah, look, are you around Sunday? You watching the game Sunday, mate? I think it's going to be literally the watch long is going to be me and you sitting there with just no nails.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Charles, but since Kepa gave us no cuppa, he gets no supper.
Yeah, too right on all, Charles, mate.
You tell just mate. You tell him, mate. You tell him.
Unreal.
Cool. Score predictions, Wayne.
You're gonna don't laugh. 2-0 to the Arsenal.
2-0 to the Arsenal. Jesus Christ! What was in that beer? Get your beer checked. What are you drinking?
Yeah.
Count Dockers put Kepa playing on Sunday would be an insult to the memory of Manninger.
Yeah, honestly, he'll be stirring in his grave. God rest his soul.
Yeah, honestly, just unfortunately won't be watching. Got a shift, and my prediction is 2-1 Arsenal. Good man. I'm gonna go 1-1. I'm gonna go 1-1. I think that I reckon we will score.
Tank, go and get this up. I won't have a laugh. Cheers, Retro.
Retro just joked when you said 2-0.
I'm midfield. Defensive masterclass and a couple of nicked goals. Bosh, 2-0.
Charles put, I don't want to predict and jinx. Let it all work out.
Let's hope so. Eza, listen, he could be vitally important because they don't like Eza playing against them City. So yeah, listen, it's all about, what is yours? You've gone 1-0, haven't you? And I've gone 2.
I'm going 1-0.
It could be 2 to 3 goals. It's going to be a tight one, and I think it'll be just two managers psyching each other out.
Could be a 5-1 game as well. Hopefully, I'd love to see another Arsenal 5-1 at their ground. Could you imagine the boost that?
Could you imagine if we? I mean, listen, it's stuff of dreams, but if we actually turn around and batter them, it'll be the funniest thing in the world. So,
Kandoku 1-0 to the Arsenal. I trust our defence. Lack of Kepa. Everyone, I think everyone.
I mean, City are a better prospect than Sporting, but we can shut. We know how to deal with Haaland. What it is, as I say, we were caught cold. That if we had lost 1-0, Tone, in the final, it would have been because of obviously, that goal. But we were poor in general. But that mistake from Kepa really did kind of gift it to Man City and put the momentum in their favour. The whole team just, if they were lacking confidence, Tone, that bit just totally and utterly killed them. Jasper, I've seen him in some pictures.
We're not sure, really, are we?
We're not sure. We're not sure, but I think if he's gonna, if there's any chance, then I would play him, and he'll have to play with Eza as well, not one or the other. I think both would have to play for me, mate. But I'm not sure. I can't. My predicted 11, which if you've missed or not, maybe flick the video back. But I've set it up in terms of the fact I don't know if Ødegaard is back or not. Listen, let's hope he's got a few surprises for us at Jasper. But at this moment in time, mate, I'm not sure if Ødegaard, he's not giving anything away. So let's wait and see, mate.
It won't. And you've got Guardiola playing these mind games as well, Gunnar. Arsenal are favourites for this game, and if we don't win this game, Arsenal will win the league. And he's playing these stupid mind games. And Joe, I really hope we beat them, and he's standing there scratching the shit out of his scalp. That'd be a good day.
The quicker he fucks off, the better. That's the main thing, mate. But let's put him into an early retirement.
Yeah. Ted Wood, good evening, pal. How are you?
Evening, mate.
Wednesday night was hard work, but still a privilege to be there. I was so relieved that I didn't see a generational meltdown, that I had my pint after the match outside the stadium and got home at 1 a.m. Good man.
Yeah, mate.
Sounds like a good day.
Listen,
Well, the match wasn't that great, but yeah,
the
we
thing
got through, right?
Exactly,
You never know.
This
Arteta might show up with Saka on the wing.
Listen, you never know, Jazz. But
me.
honest to God, mate, look, he does want to give it away, Tone. And I think for all of us here, we just have to wait and see.
To be fair, on that comment, Wayne, just before he gets I saw you interrupt you. He's put on if they've been ruled out, and he's put Saka is out. That's for sure. The rest, let's see. So that answers your question there, Jeff.
Does it though, Tone? Does it? Not with Mikel, because as I said to you previously, he just doesn't give anything away. All right, that sounds kind of definite, but you never, as what Jazz was alluding to, mate, is you just don't know with Mikel, and I'd have to agree with him in that sense, mate, because you just don't. So, but listen, I'm not getting my hopes up with it. But yeah.
Mate, I'm gonna block you because you're an absolute wanker. There you go. I've said it on air.
What's that? What's he saying?
I'm not even reading it out, mate. He's
yeah, all right, yeah. When night is come, we're family, mate, and that's incest. So I would, yeah. So
how'd you block this wanker?
Jesus Christ!
You're banned now, mate. Come,
see you, mate.
There you go. Yeah, go and get some Vaseline and do it yourself.
Yeah, sort yourself out with your Vaseline. Jesus, right.
And go and enjoy yourself, mate. Go and enjoy yourself. You know. Jasper has put he means Saka is out on the pitch tonight trying to practice dribbling.
Yeah. He it could be another thing. There's a thing online. He was out with his missus as well, Jasper. So I don't know how true that is. Maybe he said he's definitely out tonight. If he's shagging his missus, then he might not be up for the game. But you know, yeah. I mean, it's one of them. It's one of them, Tone. But I say that's what he's paid for. This is his team. Is at the end of the day, you know, and let's see what he comes up with.
Thanks, Japan. Getting these type of comments means you are reaching more people. And by the way, congratulations on 1K. Thank you, mate.
Yeah, listen, Jazz. So we've just said that earlier. In fact, we appreciate you, mate. You're one of the originals, and you keep coming back, and we appreciate it. Thank you, Retro. Same
there is always
well,
one, mate. It's all right. I've got the I can remove these fuckers anyway, mate. So
but listen, they can have their moment a little bit, but you're always going to get it, guys.
I'll put it on the screen. He had his moment
he had his moment, and we
can say that he can say he's, he claimed to fame. He's on the Gooner Booth, and his comment come on about him putting Vaseline up. Yeah, he's clearly at home on his own. His mum's probably ironing his clothes right now as we speak.
As you say, as the guys have just said, we're when you've hit that, you're open to it now, aren't we, guys? So
bring it on, bring on the comments, guys. We love it. Get the Vaseline in as well. Saka's tenopathy isn't worth risking. It might affect that his career long term. Madueke plus Sub Darwin should vouch for his absence. Yeah, I think that
he's got a big problem, Saka, mate. That's the problem as well.
Yeah, I think I think that I think Madueke owes us a game. He owes us. Soon you'll be bought out by the overlap with like Mark Goldbridge. Yeah, I think Gary Neville's done that to shut him up because he's another fellow United supporter, isn't he?
Yeah, I think that's it. Listen, I think if we had sort of like an Arsenal kind of led thing, they'd come along, but he, as Tony's just said, Jazz, he brought him because Mark Goldbridge, listen to him, he's quite a reasonable guy. In terms of what he talks about, he's neutral in certain things. He's clear he's a Man United fan, but it's to shut another Man United fan up. That's all they've done it for. But yeah, listen, it is what it is, mate. It's
but fair play to Goldbridge. You've done well.
Listen, he will never watch this channel, but if congratulations firstly, because you do this game. We're kind of little young pups in this game, Tone, but he's been going for a while, and fair play to him. It's people have said he's sold out, but that's totally disrespectful. It's you work hard for something like that, you've got to get your deal, and he's done it. So fair play to him.
Yeah, Charles has put, if I see Saka and Odegaard purring in the World Cup, I swear I will lose it.
Yeah.
I've broken my long-standing trust in them this season. Yeah, Joe, what? I'd have to jump
No,
with that as
Charles,
well, mate.
I'll vouch for it. I'm second that as well, mate.
If I
100%. I
see
will be
Odegaard,
fuming.
with top assists and all that, I'll literally be watching that. Going, right, in the summer, you can piss off. We'll get our money's worth as well if you've had a great. In these situations where I've Odegaard, if he has a great World Cup, you're sort of going, all right, 65 million, then 65, 70 million. There you go. Buy a minute,
That's
take
what I
him.
say to you, Charles, is
Ups
if
his
that's the
value.
case, because I've said it before, and I know Jasper's a fan of him, and believe you me, Jasper, me and Tony would like nothing more than having an early guard fully fit and banging for Arsenal. But it's, if he has a good one for Norway, it's like, look, mate, have a look in the summer sort of
Yeah.
thing, because this is Arsenal Football Club, play for the club, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Jess Penny's put that's like a lot of money though. It's a seven-figure deal. Goldbridge is an Arsenal fan. I feel sometimes with the way he defends Arteta. Yeah, he's quite neutral in his opinions
No, he
sometimes.
does. He doesn't
He's
allow
not. Yeah, he's
for. He
not a
doesn't
bad guy
allow
to
for.
watch.
There's a lot of things. I mean, you can have banter. The people I've got. Fans at work that sort of like hate Arsenal with a passion, sort of thing, and wouldn't even think of saying that kind of stuff. But this guy goes on and he says, look, he just talks sense basically. So yeah, listen, he does it from what he does. He deserves it at the end of the day. If you work for this, you've got people. There's people. I don't know if he's a Liverpool fan. He keeps popping up on my timeline, and he's watching Arsenal. He's hate watching. His channel is
Yeah,
hate watching, and it's
yeah.
like, listen, when you're hate watching Arsenal, right? It's above your team. I wouldn't think we live in people's head rent free time. I wouldn't think of. I wouldn't give a crap what I don't give a crap what Tottenham do, Chelsea, Man United, Man City, Liverpool.
Oh, by the way,
Chelsea, United. I would not give a crap. I would not hate watch them. I don't care. I care about my own team. I won't
yeah,
want to
but
lose
Joe,
in
what?
anything
I
to
do want to
give.
say something, Wade. I hope Chelsea do not get in the Champions League, right? Because they
Yeah,
was all sitting there, they're all going up. When City are battering them 3-0, they're literally going, oh yeah, the Leeds Arsenal don't get to win the league. Are you shitting me?
yeah,
Your plan for the Champions League, right? They should be thanking us really because we've brought in 5 spots now. We've opened it up to 5 teams, and I hope you don't get it. I really hope they don't get it now, just because of the way they acted against City. They just rolled. They started off really well, but it's their supporters were like, oh, well, we wanted them to lose. How can you want
yeah.
your own team to lose?
Exactly.
I'll never ever want my own team to lose, ever.
No, no.
Retro's put when judging Arteta, you don't need to complete to be a complete. Yeah, he's improved us, but might not get over the line.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, listen,
No, I do.
that's the thing, mate. Where he's taken us to retro is such it's a tough one for a lot of fans. For me, in that sense, you have to realise that this, as I say, with Tony may disagree and others may, but it was a cesspool. This football club, it's a cesspit, sorry. And what he's done, he's kind of just we're in April. We are in a semi-final of a Champions League. Yes, it wasn't a great 2 performances against Sporting, but we're there. We are 6 points clear as it stands in the Premier League. Sorry, that's because of one man, and that's because of the way he sets his team up, the way the team plays. And another thing, Tone, as well, which I was thinking, and it crosses your mind when you're doing a job of my thing. I'm doing the same thing every day. Your mind wanders, right? You have to look at it this way as well. There's a lot of players in this team. The bigger players, the Salibas, the Sakas, the Rices. You know, Subamendi, right? Subamendi has been in out of form, but he was a good signing at the start of the season. He's just a player who's out of form. He's bang out of form, right? He waited a year to sign for Mikel. Saliba signed a new deal because of Mikel. Declan Rice signed for Arsenal Football Club because of Mikel. Yeah. So the moment if we sit here as Arsenal fans and start saying about Mikel and going, he's got to go, this ain't good enough, blah blah blah. He's a bridesmaid. He's never the bride, and that silly bloody tifo that Liverpool fans decided to put up, showing how classy they are. Tone. The one thing we have to look at is I get the point. Oh, is he going to be good enough to take us to the next level? It could be a good argument, but what he's done for us and where he's taken us now is we are arguing and having discussions going, we are not playing great football. But don't, what position are we in? Never have we been this far in the Champions League and still challenging for the title. So, you know, we have to respect that, and we have to realise that you have to realise that this is so much better than where we were 7 years ago.
Oh, you as you said, at the start of the stream, the last stream, you said you'd bite your hand off if you were offered this
Yeah, of
position.
course you would.
You know what I
Of
mean?
course you would. It's a tough one,
Um,
Tone, I get, but we have to have a bit of perspective when it comes to Mikel. Sorry, we
yeah.
just can't duke around. Sorry,
Can't
mate.
talk this, but Wayne, I get you don't hate watch other teams, but will you watch Tottenham get relegated on May 24th?
Well, I'm kind of mixed there because my nephew supports us and he's with Tottenham. But in all due respect to counteract that, I mean Tottenham wanted to lose to Man City, so we didn't win the title.
Yeah.
But hate watching for me, mate. Not really. I couldn't care for me. I You know what, for me, if I didn't want anyone to win, I'd check up on the Sky Sports. But to put myself on the camera to be celebrating because he started laughing and when was it? I don't know. I don't know. It was one of the something we conceded. I think we won the game in the end, but we made a mistake or something happened, and he was laughing. Right, this guy taking the piss, going, blah, you're online. Like I wouldn't, as much as I dislike the teams I've said, I dislike most of the teams in history. United, I'm also hatred of United. Liverpool and Chelsea for history's gone past. I hate City for recent things. Tottenham's Tottenham. We've been rivals, but they've never been when I was growing up. They were never a title challenging rival. They were just our neighbours, if you like. The neighbours, rivals. As a kid, I never understood it because my rivals for me was always Man United because they were winning the league and I wanted my team
Mm.
to win the league, and Tottenham were nowhere near there. So for me, I'd never been someone to hate watch anyone because what's the point? You know, but people try to do it for clicks. But no, point for that long wind of it is no, I wouldn't personally do it. I don't know if Tony wants to do it, but I'm not really for
No.
this channel. It's all Arsenal. We're obviously always
I will
well.
be. I'll be rooting for Man United the weekend to beat Chelsea because I just think how you want your team to lose. It just
You
cold.
listen, as I
Yeah.
say, Tone, we had Tottenham doing it, which I had a Tottenham fan saying, I was speaking to one of my customers saying that he wanted to lose all them years. And I said, what? So you want to lose to a Man City team? A Man City team with these charges over the head, you don't care about. No, I don't want to see Arsenal win.
Yeah.
Rival fans want to see a team of cheaters win the league, the main league that you pay good money to see every year. If you're paying your subscriptions, you're going to see your football team, whatever it might be. You're putting money into the Premier League's hands, and they have a team of cheats. But you'd rather them win than a team that's genuinely done it with their own profits that they've made. They've not cheated anything. They've not cooked any books. They've not faked sponsorship deals. They've not sold the women's team like Chelsea have. The stuff, the list that Chelsea, likes of Chelsea and Man City have done. But this is what it's like now, Tone. You should hate you should hate the rival team, okay? But this is how bad football's become. Is that we are hated that much that they want a cheating institution to lift the title at the end of the season. So this is why Sunday for me is vitally important to shut a lot of people up, because Man
I
City should
agree.
be. This should not even be a title. This should not be a title decider. This should be a relegation decider for Man City and sending them down to the Championship or the pits where they belong. But unfortunately, we have to deal with what's in front of us. So let's hope the boys turn up, time, because I'd love it, mate. I don't sound like Kevin Keegan, but they deserve to be
Go on,
battered.
say it.
But even a 2-0, as crazy it may sound, is good enough for me, mate.
Yeah, Charles has put, what about the ref and the card angle? Hope we prepare all scenarios. I feel card might decide the outcome. Very good point.
I don't like the
We were
referee,
saying that.
Charles. I don't like the referee, mate.
Yeah, they'll be quick to put. Yeah, that is one of these things. These games, you want a ref that's not going to fold under pressure.
Yeah, 100%.
Throw out a red
I
card
don't. Anthony
unnecessarily.
Taylor. I don't like him, and I think we have to play our game that does not play into the referee's hands. Don't make this game about the ref. That's what we can't do, because he will be as silly. We have to play ourselves, play the football. Contain City, hit on the transition bones.
Just been this, but I don't want Spurs to get relegated. That's 6 points we will be losing, and as a losing half each season goals and assists.
Yeah.
Should we?
Yeah.
Good evening, mate. Thank you for jumping on.
Thanks for jumping on, mate.
Arsenal, I'm begging you, don't shame us. We should have wrapped the league up earlier so that we could forfeit the West Ham game. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I know, mate. I know.
Ladies and men's teams both in Champions League semi-finals. What do you feel about Atletico? This is deja vu again for us. Meeting the side, we have beaten the league phase. What will we learn? Do you know what? On this
We
one,
go
Wayne,
away town as well. We go to their ground again because of where we finished. We have an away leg again.
yeah. One thing I would say, Wayne, is I'm not going to look at the previous fixture in the league thing. Right? Last season we done the same. Do you remember we beat PSG 2-0 very comfortably?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then they beat us in the knockout stage. So it's completely different.
It's
going to be a tough
different
game. Be a tough game. You know, Simone's a good coach, and they're very similar, him and Arteta. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes.
To interject you, Tone, obviously I've got another one to say that if someone gets a goal in both these ties, I think that can decide it.
Yeah. Retro's
one of them games be that tight again.
Yeah, Retro's put the problem I have is other fans follow us the more their own team. Yeah. Seeing the Everton fan wanting us to lose on Twitter, like why?
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly, Retro. Tony, the thing is, listen, the thing about this, there's so many. You get it on Twitter, Retro. You get it everywhere you go, mate. Arsenal, what it is that they want Arsenal. They're so obsessed with Arsenal because their team has been absolutely shit, or there's nothing for them to celebrate with their own team. So Arsenal's living rent free in there. You know, let's say this, let's say that. You know, there's a Sky Sport, not Sky Sports, BBC, and this guy called Paddy Plimflet or something, Pimplet, right? Liverpool fan. I don't know where he's from, right? But he's gone on there and say, "Oh, Arsenal, I hate Arsenal fans. They don't deserve to win, whatever, blah blah blah." This is on BBC, and like I've said before, Tone, Talksport, Sky Sports, ESPN have done it. TNT have, for some reason, had a few positive articles. They've done it before in the past. BBC, these guys can't report on anything other than using Arsenal fans, online Arsenal fans, and clickbait. They're clickbaiting on Twitter. Right, what's an Arsenal fan going to do when they've got a Liverpool fan talking to Wayne Rooney, and they've got the headline of that, or you got the overlap will say something. You know, Sky Sports as well, and they'll release everything to try and get clickbait every couple of days. You have to ignore it. We have to let it go.
Talking on the overlap, right? I don't know if you guys let me know in the comments if you've seen it. Ian Wright and Roy Keane are having quite a heated debate. I don't know if you've seen that. We're in that clip. Where Ian Wright's
Roy Keane set Ian Wright straight because Ian Wright was worried.
Ian was like, "I'm worried about this team." And that, do you know what? And a lot of Arsenal have sort of clipped it and gone, "If Ian Wright's worried, then we should all be worried because he's never got a bad word to say about Arsenal." And Roy Keane was quite funny. He's going, "What are you on about? You're top of the league. You have bad moments. You have bad patches. It happened in a title race." But Ian Wright was like, "No, we're not playing well." It's one of them things where he's basically saying what a lot of our supporters are feeling at the moment. We just don't see where we're going to get this run of form going. And I think we need to start Sunday.
You need a catalyst, Tone, don't you? What better way to be under the cosh? Whatever Pep wants to say. Rival fans, I've had it from rival fans saying, you're going to get turned over. That's it, and it's game over for you. Nothing's game over till it is. We haven't even played the game yet. But let that be the narrative. Go into that dressing room, show that dickhead who's got the bottle, who Sky Sports placed there, but as
definitely,
right. And then he has an interview afterwards, called Sky Sports, right, with an Arsenal bottle that one of the Arsenal stewards very kindly got for his boy, but this twat's kept it to use it for Sky Sports for clickbait and God knows what else, right? And being placed there, use that fuel tone. Use Cherky's kick-ups against Ben White, right? Use it.
And then taking
everything. Use the negative. Exactly. Take this, and all Arteta's got to do is use that as fuel. He's saying about fire, and a lot of people saying, "What's he talking about?" There should be your fire right there. Is what he's talking about. Everything coming out, but it's all coming out. You wouldn't get it if it was Man City at the top. You don't get it if it's Liverpool at the top. It's all negativity with Arsenal. And it's it's as George Graham has said. We can keep saying it every single stream. Like he said, they all hate us. It is what it is. We're the Arsenal. It's in our history. Let them hate. this is where this team has got to rise up, Tony, and it has to start on Sunday because you have to show the footballing world and all these rival fans. So then on Monday morning, when we go into our workplaces, we have to face these people with our heads held high, as well as those players should. Do the business, boys, on Sunday, so we can do that because this is what we deserve. We've had so much shit, so when it's bad time, it's long overdue that we can stand up to these guys and say, "Here you go. What are you going to say now?" You
Yeah.
know, and that's up to them players. There's 11 players got a big role to play, not for themselves as well as the football club, Tone, and obviously the coaching staff and for Mikel. They've worked hard, every one of them in this football club, and we deserve something from this season without a doubt. It's been long overdue.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, let's do another 5 minutes, mate, and we'll start wrapping it up. There's a few comments in there. Guys, lovely comments again this evening. Thanks, except for the guy that was implying that
Well,
me.
we won't be, as I say, the regulars and the guys,
But yeah, no, look,
come into it, talk normally. You know, you don't have to start talking about coming into the stream saying that kind of stuff, but you do get them, unfortunately, Tone.
Joe, what I don't
Part and
mind
parcel.
it. Let
Part
it come.
parcel of it.
Let it come. You know, he's sitting in his mum's bedroom, probably.
Yeah.
You know,
Mum's let him use her
mum's let him
iPad
use
for a
their
bit.
laptop or iPad, yeah, to abuse people online. Good man, good man. Look, let's get through these comments. Charles, show Martinelli Overmars' video at Old Trafford. Show Mad Wakey, Sylvain Wiltord. Show Havertz Michael's goal in '89. Get all those dusty tapes out and inspire. Very, very good point. Agree with that.
Someone said, and to reiterate Charles's point, saying, where is your what they've said? Where's your Mickey Thomas? Where's your Overmars? Where's your Wiltor? Do you know what I mean? Where are these players standing up? Stand up for it.
I would get Thierry Henry, Tony Adams. I'd get a load of them to go in that changing room, even in the training ground, to go, guys. Like, you know, you got that. Just I think just because look, they got people. I think the only one we've got in that team is Gabriel Hines, the coaching. He won trophies with Man United, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Who have you got in that? Who have you got in that setup that are serial winners? You know,
but this is where you can kind of put, because the thing is, if you look at it throughout our history, for me, you had one of the iconic ones in the FA Cup was Charlie George. He's goal in the FA Cup 1971, and he's on the ground like that. I mean, me and you went to the stadium tour and seeing, we were too shy maybe to ask him a question, but as a young kid, having seen that on our granddad's tape that he had, I wanted to recreate in our nan's garden. You know, he put his name in, but Charlie George was known by Arsenal fans, but he's gone down in folklore for that. Mickey Thomas at Anfield '89, yeah. He didn't put any, you know, he wasn't well known, he hadn't done anything before. He put his name in the folklore tone. 97, 98, Tony Adams was captain, fantastic anyway, but the goal against Everton for me defined that. Overmars and Anelka in the 97, 98, the 98 FA Cup, you know, Overmars at Old Trafford, you know. The thing is, Tony, Will Toy in 2002 at Old Trafford. The thing is, Tone, is these players, you know, can put a name in history. Will Tord hadn't done anything bigger prior to that. It's moments, and one of these players has to stand up and have a moment and put their name in history. Actually, in history, you know, that's what they got to do. We got to hope that someone's gonna, and a hero's gonna sort of come up. I don't want to get all silly or whatever, but you know what I mean. Someone, these players that you're not, you know, these players. We didn't have like a Ronaldo, the old school Ronaldo side, the Brazilian Ronaldo, you know. We had a Thierry Henry early in that, but Thierry Henry was injured at Old Trafford, and we went with Cano and Wiltor up top. You wouldn't have thought. You thought, oh, we got our old on here. You know what I mean? The referee's against us. You're at Old Trafford. Don't make any silly rash challenges. We had Keown at the back as well with Sol Campbell, solid centre halves and whatever. Seaman in goal. You know, Vieira. I think Vieira and Parla, I think it was in the midfield. But you wouldn't have expected either one of them, because you didn't have Bergkamp, didn't have Omri, and Wiltor stepped up. So one of them's got to step up, Bones. That's all we're asking for, boys.
Yeah. Let's get through this comment.
Dressing room, one of you step up, for fuck's sake. That'll be my message. Come on. Hit a purple patch, you fuckers. Do it.
Cam Docker, is that true? Update. City to play Palace on the 22nd of May and Aston Villa on the 24th of May. 2 games very close to each other. I smell drop point.
I don't think they could that, because that Crystal Palace game was hanging. So there's certain things.
Is that right? Is that correct?
Could be, mate. Could
Two
be.
days. I don't know. 2 days is a bit. Guardiola will be scratching his bald head over that. Chess Beddy's put, guys, have we decided what happens if we lose? I propose belly pain as an excuse, or do you have any excuse suggestions? Oh, for work.
Me and Tony will have stomach bugs, so we won't be able to come online.
I mean, for you, mate, you work in a hospital, so you could practically say anything. You've probably got a severe bug that you don't want
Yeah,
to spread, so you better stay at home and
yeah.
yeah,
I
John,
know,
we'll
mate.
let
I
you
know.
know, mate.
Listen to Jazz for. I hope it doesn't go that far, my friend.
Yeah. Champions League semi-final, one side, beautiful football. Champions League on our side, park the bus versus park the tractor. Yeah, he's not wrong. Cherise put, I echo Thierry's words. How bad do you want it? If Miko sets up for a draw, we lose. The best way of beating City is attacking them. When you pile pressure on them, they actually can see goals. Joe, what? It's a very good
I've
point.
said this. I have
Look at
said
Nottingham
that this
Forest,
is.
Wayne. Nottingham Forest
Yeah.
could have gone there, part of the bus, tried to nick a result in a relegation battle. They didn't. They played football, and look what come out of it.
Could be if he's brave in his selection tone, then I'll go with it. If I'll go with it, honestly, I will. I think compactness first, brave in certain selections up top. Let's see where we go. But that's on him. As I say, it's on him. It is on him, Tone, and it's he picks the team, and sometimes obviously there's certain players that are out, but we still have a squad to pick from, and it's up to him to get the best, best team out there, best result for us on the day.
Just put, if it's the comparison to us, we have fans comparing Saka and Messi, like sometimes are the creators of our own downfall. Paddy Pimblett is the funniest martial arts artist I've seen. Paddy saying he hates Arsenal. Trust me, that's one of the nicest things he said. If you see he's trash talking UFC, that's like golden words from him. Can't say I watch UFC, mate.
If that's it, as I say, I don't know where he's from and stuff like that, matey. But as I say, you're using certain people. I mean, I don't watch it UFC.
We're getting Michael, mate. Michael, come on. Gabriel Hines has been.
Was it Hasbeen or Heinz?
Oh God.
Evening,
Go
Dad.
back to your brandy. Jesus.
I think he's out. It could be whiskey, mate. Actually,
Is it whiskey?
He's waiting for you to bring him a bottle down, Tone.
Yeah, I have to bring him a bottle down with a tin of Heinz beans. By the looks of things.
Yeah, definitely. Likes beans on toast.
Mate, we've done an hour and a half of streaming. That's absolutely flown by. Big old game. Look, there's going to be a watch along on Sunday, 4:30 kickoff, Super Sunday. Come and join us. We'll be on around 4ish to talk about the team. The team will be out before then, but come and join us. Come and join us. It's going to be a tough game. We'll be here with you. We will. Yeah. We'll get through it.
We'll try our best to make you feel better, but I think think positive, guys. I think personally, give it your all. As long as those, as Tony said, as long as you give them your all, mate. But I'm not fearing. I don't fear it because I think you could there's this opportunity. It's a massive opportunity, Tone. Take it. Don't have any regrets because you don't get this far. You don't be where we are. Without having some kind of quality. So go out there and do it.
Yeah.
Exactly, Count Docklu. Thanks again. Thanks for all your comments, guys. Keep it going. Positive thoughts. Positive thoughts.
We'll be on the next screen. Got work on game day, but best of luck to all Arsenal fans. We will need it. Yes, mate. No way.
We will, Jazz. So listen, don't work too hard, my friend. And listen, we've got to keep that positive vibe, matey, because we need it now. It's our moment. We've got to take it. It's our time.
Yeah. Look, it's in the players. It's in the players' hands now. Arteta's doing his last minute prep.
Yeah, probably. we can say what we want, but this is their thing. Get in there, boys. Do it. Do it for the badge.
Give us something. They all owe us a performance. Havertz owes us a performance. Madueke, Zubimendi, Martinelli owes us a performance.
Yeah, big style. Even whatever. If Trossard as well. Trossard hasn't been in form since the start of the year. We need a clutch goal from Leo. You know what I mean? He's got it in his locker. Give us something, matey, and you can ride off in the sunset as a hero, mate. Make yourself a hero. Make yourself that next Sylvan Will tour, mate.
Yeah. Cool, guys. Hit the smash. Smash the like button up. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, and we will see you Sunday. I'll leave you with the famous words of Thierry. If what did they say? It's gone out of my head now. Boys, how much do you want it? That's what he said.
How much do you want it, lads?
How much do
That's
you want
the
it? I'll
question.
leave you with that.
How much do you want it?
Over to the Gooners. See you Sunday.
Cheers, guys. See you Sunday.